Today we're going to be going over intake maintenance quarterly on the intakes, and we're just going to show you kind of how to do it so that way we're all on the same page. If we want to take a look at Quint 2 here, you can see that it's crooked. It's not straight up and down, and that's because of the foam intake. We have it off to the side so that way we have the ability to connect our draft hose for the foam, and the wheel is out of the way. So we're also going to need a rubber mallet and a piece of wood to get the intake off. As a reminder, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Now that the intake is off, we want to just take a look at the strainer and make sure that all the pieces are solid, and if it's broken at any point, we do have replacements up at Station 1. And because we are all aware of Murphy's Law, in the event that we are in the middle of doing our quarterly maintenance, each rig or station should at least have a cap. So if we have to get out the door because it's a fire call or fire alarm or whatever it might be, and we don't have time to put it on, we do have 6-inch caps that we can put on the intake. That would be sufficient. Now that the intake is off, we want to make sure that we have a silicone spray. We want the Sil Glide. It's a silicone-based lubricant versus petroleum. It doesn't mix with our rubber gaskets, where the petroleum would mix with the rubber gaskets and make them swell, and then we're not able to have adequate seals with that swelling. So please make sure we're using the Sil Glide, and then some paper towel to make sure we can clean up excess grease and the gaskets prior to re-lubricating them. So there's 4, and I have the garbage can. As far as the intake here, there's going to be 4 gaskets that we lubricate. One is on the cap. Another one is on the intake itself. We have the opposite side of the cap. This one on the inside is removable. This connects to our intake. And then if we open the intake here, there's a gasket right here that goes all the way around on the inside that connects, or that goes against our gate. That's the 4th seal that we want to make sure we're using that Sil Glide on. So just a quick little example of what we're going to do. The gasket that I took off from the inside, we'll just run some paper towel through it, try to get the excess off and clean it up a little bit. It's about as clean as it's going to get. So then as it's fully coated with our Sil Glide, I want to take it and bend it back and forth, making sure that it doesn't crack on us. If it does crack, obviously we need replacement, but this one's in good shape. It bends easily and it's pliable. So with that being said, I'll inspect the inside too. There's no extra lubricant on the inside either. So then what I like to do is I like to flip it when I put it back in. Press it down to make sure that it's completely in there. And then I'll move on to the inside gasket. So I'll move the gate out of the way as well. And then I'll move the gate back. This one's a little more difficult to get at. And then we can finish up with the caps, they're actually fairly clean right now, so there's nothing to clean off of them, so I'm just going to get a little on my finger. We're doing the Sil Glide on these gaskets. Be sure not to pull these out. These are not meant to come out. These are glued in and they're suctioned, so please do not remove them. Also, this one isn't correct. Both gaskets should have, this one's flat and this one has a lip on it. Both of these should have a lip on it to make sure that's what allows these to have suction for drafting. So both gaskets need to have this little lip on it. So we're going to move on to the silicone spray. We're going to spray it in the bleeder valve. Operate our bleeder valve. And we can also put a little bit of spray on the outside. And operate the bleeder valve back and forth, on off. We're going to spray inside. We're going to put the straw in here so that way we can get a little deeper. There's no way to activate this spring. Just make sure we get it in there. And then our last spray we're going to do is we're going to do it on our swivel. These get fairly corroded because they're exposed to the elements all the time. So I'm going to just spray the knob here. Then I'm going to spray inside the latches as I rotate it here. A lot better. And then we just want to make sure again that everything moves freely as it does. So we have our Sil Glide, we have our silicone spray. That is the completion of our quarterly maintenance, and then we can go put it back on the intake.